This is Sundry News for Monday, July 20th. We begin now with the Daily Shapiro from this evening. Federal judge's son and husband shot at home. Judge was assigned to Epstein Deutsche Bank case last week. And apparently it really was an assassin dressed as a postal service worker, I think. Postal worker. Yeah. Why didn't they shoot the judge, I wonder? Was she just not there? We warned them. Dallas police chief had nearly 700 protesters taken into custody for blocking highway. And yeah, so first reaction is, hey, good, finally do something. But then the second reaction is, I wonder how long it is until they're just released without bail, without requiring bail, without charges, without even any fines. I mean, hey, maybe that won't happen this time, but I don't hold out much hope. Thousands to walk off jobs in strike for Black lives. Okay. Make room for all the currently unemployed people who actually want to work. Do that then. Watch. Black Marine vet holding American flag rips protesters. None of you guys represent Black lives. Excellent. The Associated Press says it will capitalize black but not white. That's not surprising. I mean, that's what's happening. Yahoo does it. ExpressVPN. Protect your online privacy. And watch the Ben Shapiro Show, or listen, because it's also a podcast. Do I want to look at this? Not really. I'm sure I'll learn more as time goes on. Next up is the Daily Wire. Watch Portland rioters overwhelm cops, torch police union headquarters. Oh, but they don't want the federal government's help. They can't seem to keep control on their own, but by all means, they don't want help. Pathetic. Petition calls on Trader Joe's grocery stores to change racist ethnic product names. I wouldn't know what those are since I've never shopped at Trader Joe's at all, but I'm sure it's probably utter bullshit. Ghislaine or whatever, Maxwell, thinks Epstein was murdered in jail, fears same fate. Yeah, that's what everybody's fucking saying. Watch, black woman pours paint over BLM street art. All lives matter. We're taking our country back. Refund the police. Which obviously, of course, means the opposite of defund the police. As in, don't take all their money away. Give all their money back. Get them back to work. Let them do their jobs. And she didn't just do this once, by the way. She did it. She got arrested. She got out because of, bail reform, where they're letting out nonviolent offenders without making them pay any money, since they are technically innocent until proven guilty. And this is like the only good time, the only time that has been a good thing. And then she proceeded to do it like 3 more times, I think. So yeah, good for her. Trump, after clashing with Chris Wallace over COVID fatality numbers, #1 low mortality rate. #1 low mortality rate. What does that mean? What does that mean? Excuse me. On Sunday, Fox News aired a pre-taped interview with President Donald Trump. At the beginning of the interview, anchor Chris Wallace asked the president about the ongoing COVID-19 panic. Let's start with the surge of the coronavirus across the country in recent months. You still talk about it as burning embers, but I want to put up a chart that shows where we are with the illness over the last 4 months, Wallace said. What the fuck, Fox News? Why are you fear-mongering? The anchor then displayed a chart showing a peak in April of 36,000 cases a day, then contrasted that with a new peak of 75,000 cases one day this week. Trump countered, claiming that the apparent increase in cases is due to great testing. That's part of it, as well as inflated counting. If we didn't test, you wouldn't be able to show that chart, Trump stated. If we tested half as much, those numbers would be down. Exactly. Following a back and forth about the panic being burning embers or a forest fire, the president pointed to other countries where the virus is wreaking havoc. It's not just this country, it's many countries. We don't talk about it in the news. They don't talk about Mexico and Brazil and still parts of Europe, which actually got hit sooner than us, so it's a little ahead of us in that sense, Trump noted. But you take a look, why don't they talk about Mexico, which is not helping us? And all I can say is thank God I built most of the wall, because if I didn't have the wall up, we would have a much bigger problem with Mexico. Yeah, well, get the rest up, okay? Because we're still having a problem with Mexico. There are cases daily pouring over the border, filling up the border hospitals. Wallace then brought up to Trump that the United States has the 7th highest mortality rate in the world, higher than Brazil, it's higher than Russia, and the European Union has us on a travel ban. The president countered, reminding Wallace that the United States had Europe on a travel ban. He then seemed to suggest that the mortality rates offered by Wallace were incorrect. Trump: when you talk about mortality rates, I think it's the opposite. I think we have one of the lowest mortality rates. Wallace: that's not true, sir. Trump: well, we're going to take a look. Wallace: we had 900 deaths in a single day. Trump: we will take a look. Ready? After asking for the mortality rate document, the president said, I heard we have one of the lowest, maybe the lowest mortality rate anywhere in the world. Do you have the numbers, please? Because I heard we have the best mortality rate. Number 1 low mortality rate, Trump said, after he was handed a piece of paper. I hope you show this scenario. I hope you show this because it shows what fake news is all about. I don't know why they had to insert scenario there. Following crosstalk, Wallace jumped in via video voiceover to explain the different numbers. While Fox News was using the Johns Hopkins University data, Team Trump was using a chart from the European CDC, which shows Italy and Spain doing worse, but countries like Brazil and South Korea doing better. Other countries doing better, like Russia, aren't included in the White House chart, according to Wallace. Okay. According to Johns Hopkins, the United States ranks 8th in the world in COVID-19 mortality. Brazil has apparently moved ahead of the U.S. since the interview was taped. Are they taking size into account? Because 8th in the world were pretty big. So 8th in the world puts all the other big countries ahead of us, most likely. The observed case fatality ratio, meaning that the number of deaths per 100 confirmed cases in the United States, stands at 3.8% as of publication, according to Johns Hopkins. As for deaths per 100,000 population, this represents a country's general population with both confirmed cases and healthy people. The United States ranks 3rd behind the UK and Chile. The chart showed by Fox News as the one being used by the Trump administration comes from Our World in Data, and it tracks the case fatality rate. The map allows one to choose which countries to display. One World in Data notes raw data on confirmed cases and deaths for all countries is sourced from the European Center for Disease Prevention and Control, ECDC. Looking at the chart from OWID, One World in Data, in a worst to best view of case fatality, the United States sits at 3.82% as of July 18th. Countries with worse CFRs, that was case fatality rates. Countries with worse case fatality rates, according to the chart, include France, UK, Belgium, Italy, Canada, Sweden, and Mexico, among others. Countries with better CFRs include Austria, Norway, South Korea, New Zealand, and Taiwan, among others. So very small countries. Countries that could all fit inside the United States. Oh, that's it. Number 1, low mortality rate. Okay, so not exactly number one, but the man's been known to exaggerate. It's his way. There's some ads. Blah, blah, blah. Moving on to Yahoo. The Daily Yahoo. Federal judge's son shot and killed and husband injured in attack at their New Jersey home. I thought they were both killed. A gunman reportedly dressed as a FedEx driver, FedEx, not postal worker, driver, fatally shot the son of a federal judge and wounded her husband at the family's New Jersey home. Out of Portland, tear gas, an apparition emerges, capturing the imagination of protesters. Wow, that's some lovely editorializing. An iconic image has emerged on Twitter since early Saturday morning in Portland, when a woman wearing nothing but a mask and cap strode toward federal agents as they fired tear gas at protesters. A surreal image of human vulnerability in the face of what the fuck ever. That sounds like, honest to goodness, pure stupidity. Kelly Ripa's daughter and classlessness. Very unclassy. Kelly Ripa's daughter, Lola Consuelo, stuns in white bikini in mirror selfie. The 19-year-old daughter of Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos also recently modeled a flirty white baby doll dress. Okay. A woman was shot 8 times after asking man to stop lighting illegal fireworks, report says. Shatavia Walls was shot in Brooklyn, New York, days after the July 4th holiday, Independence Day holiday, when she asked a man to stop setting off fireworks, police sources said Saturday. Was this man part of a protest? Luke Bryan gave fans an important update about his relationship with his wife, Caroline. Luke's message was loud and clear. Okay, I really don't care. This is the test Trump said he aced and that Fox News host Chris Wallace would have trouble completing. The test was likely the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, which measures cognitive function and helps diagnose illnesses. Okay. Neat. I'll click on this. A woman was shot and later died after asking a man to stop using illegal fireworks, police said Saturday, according to the New York Post. Shatavia Walls was shot 8 times in Brooklyn, New York at around 8:30 p.m. on July 7th, 4 days after the U.S. Independence holiday, the report said. On Saturday, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams said, "The person who shot Ms. Walls must be found and held criminally responsible. My heart goes out to her and her entire family on this horrific incident," according to the report. A police officer stands near the scene of an afternoon shooting that left 1 person dead on July 7th, 2020 in the Brooklyn borough of New York City. A Brooklyn woman was shot after asking a man to stop lighting little fireworks, blah, blah, blah. Shatavia Walls was shot 8 times after telling a man to stop setting off fireworks. Her partner, Kelvin Hernandez, was also shot during the gunfire. Police sources say Walls died from her injuries at Brookdale Hospital on Friday night, according to the report. After being confronted by Walls, the unidentified man went to grab a gun and returned to shoot Walls and Hernandez, the New York Post reported. Both were struck as they tried to flee. So it was in public. Yeah. The police are still searching for the shooter, Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams said, according to New York Post. The person who shot Ms. Walls must be found and held criminally responsible. My heart goes out to her and her entire family on this horrific incident, Adams said. In June, firework-related noise complaints in New York City saw a 4,000% increase. Concurrently, gun violence in New York had also dramatically increased this summer compared to last year. Okay, so, in June, you mean, like, when there was a bunch of riots and, quote, protests, unquote, and I hear tell that fireworks are, like, setting off fireworks and throwing them at like, say, cops and people is a tactic. Not saying that that's what they're doing in New York, but just saying, I mean, if that's might be a fact. Anyway, I see what you're doing here. You keep referencing that it was 4 days after Independence Day. So you're trying to tie this thing to Independence Day celebrations, and yet it was 4 days later, and firecrackers are often used in protests and riots, and this happened in public in the daytime. You know, people don't generally set off their fireworks for, to enjoy the pretty lights in the daytime. "8:30 p.m. is daytime, by the way. When it's summer, it is still pretty light outside at 8:30 p.m. And presumably he'd been doing it for a while. So, I'm not convinced that this has anything to do with Independence Day, is what I'm saying. Pretty sure it was probably a, quote, protester, unquote. Anyway, going back. Featured new podcast episode with Rachel Brosnahan from hit show Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Listen to Yahoo and the GeneCo Foundation's new podcast, Stories, with Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel Brosnahan, and more, reading short stories for children. These stories were submitted by the general public as part of a Yahoo writing competition held during the 2020 coronavirus lockdown. Yep, definitely not trusting that to be suitable for kids. What's hot? Is a Yahoo search? Is it for real? Is it low-interest student loans on Yahoo search? Is it portable sanitizers on Yahoo search? No. Trending now. Mariah Carey, Kat Dennings, coronavirus, always number 3. They just keep tacking it right up there on number 3. What the fuck are the odds that it would be number 3 every single fucking day? Elle Macpherson, flower delivery today. Order business checks. TikTok, but spelled with C's. Interesting. So this was probably yesterday was the day when a whole bunch of old people decided to search TikTok on Yahoo. 2020 mattress ratings. Kelly Riley, Isabel Goulart. Don't know who that person is. And last of all, we have 1440 in partnership with something that I can't see because I'm in dark mode. I'm sure we'll find out what it is further down. Something stream. Anyway, good morning. It's Monday, July 20th, and we're covering the death of a civil rights legend. Need to know. Representative John Lewis dies. Civil rights icon Representative John Lewis, Democrat, Georgia 5, passed away over the weekend, succumbing to pancreatic cancer, which was diagnosed in December. A contemporary of Martin Luther King Jr., 21-year-old Lewis was one of the original 13 Freedom Riders who set out from Washington, D.C. to New Orleans in 1961, challenging segregation in public transportation. He was the first to be assaulted on the trip. Lewis was also the youngest and last remaining member of the Big Six civil rights leaders who organized the 1963 March on Washington. A key figure in the fight against Jim Crow laws, Lewis rose to national prominence in 1965 when he helped lead a nonviolent voting rights march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. I wonder what he thought of everything that's going on here right before he died. Known as Bloody Sunday, the group was attacked by state troopers as they crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Images of the violence, Lewis had his skull fractured, sparked public uproar and catalyzed momentum for the Voting Rights Act. During his 16 terms in Congress, Lewis focused less on major legislation, instead using his platform to advocate for disadvantaged populations beyond his district. Among a long list of accolades, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2011. So, he didn't focus on doing his job for 16 terms. See his life and photos here. In related news, Reverend C.T. Vivian, a key advisor to King, died at the age of 95. Ginsburg's cancer returns. Yeah, we got a lot of fucking old people in government. Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg revealed she has been receiving chemotherapy for liver cancer that was discovered during a biopsy in February. It is her fourth bout with cancer. She was diagnosed with colon cancer in 1999, pancreatic cancer in 2009, and lung cancer in 2018. Holy shit. Ginsburg, who also lost her mother and husband to cancer, plans to remain on the court and has said she will work as long as she's fully able. Of course. Of course that's what she's gonna do. Did anybody think that she would do any different? Donald Trump is president. Donald Trump could replace her with somebody who might actually make a difference. She doesn't want that. Work as long as she's fully able. How do we know that she is fully able right now? Does she undergo any, mental examinations? Or emotional? Also, your judgment can definitely be compromised by your emotions. Just a full psychological evaluation should be happening before every major case that she hears. Or before every case that she hears. It doesn't have to be major. The news makes potentially appointing a replacement for the 87-year-old justice an expected top issue in the November election. Like all federal judges, Supreme Court justices are nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate, both of which are controlled by Republicans. A similar scenario played out in 2016 following the death of Samuel Alito, but with Democratic President Barack Obama. See a list of all Supreme Court justices in U.S. history and who appointed them here. 52 days of protests. Police in Portland, Oregon declared a riot Saturday evening after a police association office was set on fire by protesters. Demonstrations in the city, sparked by the May 25th death of George Floyd, have now entered their 52nd consecutive day. The protests have become increasingly tense protests. Just because the police have only declared a riot today, surely this can't be the first time. That doesn't mean that it's really been just protests every day. The protests have become increasingly tense with the arrival of federal officers 2 weeks ago. Oh, yes. It's all the feds' fault. Supporters have accused Portland police and federal officers of intentionally escalating violence, while police allege a small group of anarchists have provoked the use of tear gas and munitions that affect entire crowds. The federal forces are not military, but are reportedly drawn from the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security, including Customs and Border Protection, the U.S. Marshals, and others. Oregon filed suit against the federal government yesterday over allegations that officers are failing to identify themselves during arrests, including detaining civilians in unmarked vans. Homeland Security officials denied the reports. Yes. Sue the fucking government. Just because they had to do your job. Separately, thousands are expected to join a national workers' strike protesting racial injustice in cities across the U.S. today. And as I said when I read that headline a little bit ago, more power to you. Make room for all those unemployed people at home who actually want to work. Pique your curiosity. Curiosity stream. Curiosity stream. If you're anything like we are, you've used the past few months to really catch up on your television. But also, if you're like we are, after 2 consecutive weeks of mindless reality TV, I would definitely not watch reality TV for 2 weeks. You have developed a taste for something a bit different, something that will stimulate the mind. And that's why we use Curiosity Stream. It's the premium documentary and nonfiction streaming service offering thousands of titles in its library. Science? Got it. Nature? Got it. History? Got it. Tech? Got it. Well, you get it. Are you trying to sound like that hot chocolate song in the Polar Express? Because that's what it sounds like. Science, we got it. Nature, we got it. History, we got it. Tech, we got it. Well, you get it. Curiosity Stream selection is world class, so you can unwind and learn a thing or two at the same time. Curiosity Stream is available on virtually every streaming TV, phone, tablet, and computer. Check it out today and get an incredible offer of $14.99 for an entire year with code 1440. That's right, you can watch endless documentaries for an entire year for just $1.25 a month. Sign up for Curiosity Stream today. I don't usually trust documentaries. Because, generally documentaries are not made for just objectively informing people. They're made to make a point, so that's why I don't trust them. Because they can doctor their information as much as they need to get their message across. Please support our sponsors. In the Know. Sports, entertainment, and culture. Canadian government blocks Toronto Blue Jays from playing home games in Toronto. Canadian government blocks Toronto Blue Jays from playing home games in Toronto. Major League Baseball season is set to start July 23rd. Okay. Canada is fucking weird. Japanese actor Haruma Miura, best known for Attack on Titan, dies at 30. Ekaterina Alexandrovskaya, 2018 Winter Olympics figure skater, dies from supposed window fall at age 20. She's an Olympian. But that's Winter Olympics. I'm just speculating. Sad. Rapper Juice WRLD tops Billboard 200 with biggest posthumous debut album since 1997. Rapper died of an overdose in December at age 21. Science and technology. Martian probe launched by the United Arab Emirates aboard a Japanese rocket, the first interplanetary mission led by an Arab country. Researchers from OpenAI, an open-source artificial intelligence platform. I kind of got that from the name OpenAI. Show its GPT-2 model can generate lifelike images from scratch. GPT-3, released as a beta version in June, makes waves for predicting follow-on thoughts during writing. Okay. Study suggests some dog species may use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate on non-migratory journeys. Like in Homeward Bound. Business and markets brought to you by The Ascent. Personal assistant charged with second-degree murder in gruesome death of tech entrepreneur Fahim Saleh in New York City. Saleh was founder and CEO of Gokada, a motorbike hailing a motorbike hailing app in Nigeria. Gruesome death. Quicken Loans, which recently filed for IPO, expects second quarter profits to surge. Estimates revenue 5 times higher than same period last year as mortgage rates fall to lowest levels in more than 50 years. Disney joins growing list of brands to suspend advertising on Facebook. The company was Facebook's biggest U.S. advertiser in the first half of 2020. Oh, brother. Please don't give in, Facebook. Stay strong, Facebook. Transfer your balance now. This card offers a market-topping 0% APR for 18 months on balance transfers, along with one of the highest unlimited cashback rates for every purchase, all with no annual fee. And that's probably what the Ascent is. Politics and world affairs. New York City enters phase 4 of reopening. State reports under 1% of coronavirus tests return as positive. Yeah, that's because there's nobody left. There's nobody left. You did it. You got herd immunity. At great cost, since your economy is ravaged and your nursing homes have also been ravaged since sick people had to be sent to nursing homes. But hey, you did it. Global death tally passes 600,000. U.S. reports total of... I feel like this is just like if suddenly we just started counting how many people die every day and reporting it to the world. This is just that. That's all this is. You're reporting how many people are dying. Just in general. That's what it seems like. U.S. reports total of 3.77 million cases as of this morning, with 140... I'm so sorry, I'm just so bored of this topic. With 140,534 alleged deaths. Oh yeah, I forgot to say alleged. U.S. reports total of 3.77 million alleged cases as of this morning, with 140,534 alleged deaths. See how your state is doing on testing here. President Trump discusses response in testy interview with Fox News' Chris Wallace. Manhunt underway for gunman who shot and killed son and injured husband of federal judge at their New Jersey home. Shooter reportedly posed as a delivery driver. Oh, so you just didn't have room to add that the judge was recently assigned to the Epstein and Deutsche Bank case? Saudi King Salman admitted to the hospital for inflammation of the gallbladder. The 84-year-old ruler has largely shifted duties to his son, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Yeah, I thought he was already in charge. Thousands of titles. What do Fibonacci sequences in nature, Frank Lloyd Wright's architecture, and the fascinating world of Lego have in common? You guessed it, they're all topics from some of CuriosityStream's thousands of documentaries and nonfiction films. And with code 1440, you can watch them all, and so many more, for just $14.99 per year. Check it out today. Please support our sponsors. Etc. Former President Barack Obama on John Lewis. I really don't give a fuck what he has to say about anything. Queen Elizabeth II knights a 100-year-old veteran who raised millions for the National Health Service. Cool. Visualizing hours worked per worker since 1950. From our partners. Tired of being locked into expensive cellular contracts? This company offers flexible, crazy affordable plans tailored for each family member, all managed from one account starting from $5 a month. And I remember from clicking on this before, it's something called Tello. 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 Tello? Tello? A LeBron James rookie card sells for $1.8 million. And ranking America's best sports cities for 2020. Runaway dog treks 50 miles back to her old home. Oh, she probably used the Earth's magnetic field. Right? Some dog species may use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate on non-migratory journeys. Good for her. Kanye is still running for president, and he wants to give all new parents $1 million. Huh. I thought he dropped out. I guess he just wants to keep people guessing. Fat chipmunks are driving people nuts. That's not the clickbait? Clickbait. To reduce stress, Iceland is broadcasting the world's screams. Interesting. History book. Mount Everest explorer Sir Edmund Hillary born, 1919. Neil Armstrong becomes first person to walk on the moon, 1969. No mention of the guy behind him. Poor guy. Aldrin, right? Buzz Aldrin. Rest in peace, Bruce Lee, 1973. Viking 1 is first spacecraft to successfully land on Mars, 1976. Happy birthday, Giselle Bouchon, 1980. I don't remember who that is. A model? Never ever be afraid to make some noise and get in good trouble, necessary trouble. John Lewis. Oh. I think that's taken way, 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 way out of context and way overboard these days. These people are not getting in good trouble. And it's not necessary trouble. And they're not getting in enough trouble. Ugh. Whatever. I mean, taken out of today's context, okay, yes, good quote. That's it for 1440, and that is it for Sundry News. Thank you, and good night.